Repeated, India does not need to lead the world. India does not need to lead the world in building the most advanced AI models. No, no, no. India must not lead the world in building the most advanced AI models, but it must lead in ensuring the benefits of AI are widely shared. The benefits of AI, where do the benefits come from? They come from the most advanced AI models. But India should not build these most advanced AI models. Let China and America build the most advanced AI models, then they will throw some crumbs at India, and India must lead in ensuring that these crumbs are widely shared. That is the mindset of these so-called industry leaders of India, like Mr. Nandan Nilekani. Who is Mr. Nilekani? He is the co-founder of Infosys. Infosys is a Indian IT giant, isn't it? What is their business model? It is labor arbitrage, cyber coolie work. They have built nothing of any value. All they do is they leverage the cheap Indian talent to make a lot of money from the US. That's all they do. They have never produced anything of value for India. The only thing is this revenue stream that comes in, and they make some money, and the Indian IT industry continues ruling, and Indian cyber coolies, sadly, they get an income, and that's about it. They had the manpower to develop world class products, the best products in the world, and so on, and yet they develop nothing of any sort, of any consequence. So let's read what Mr. Nilekani has to say. This is his op-ed in I think the Times of India, Economic Times. It says, it's Popular Mechanics 101. India's edge lies in using AI to enhance human productivity, not replace it. Enhance human productivity, not replace it. Let the Americans and Chinese do that work. We will simply be Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam and Satyameva Jayate and all that. The piece argues that AI is not an inevitable force shaping economic outcomes. Is he clueless, this person, Nilekani? He seems to be clueless. Anyhow, so it's not an inevitable force shaping economic outcomes. Rather, societies decide how its benefits are distributed. But if you want to distribute something, somebody has to produce it, right? And you want someone else to produce it and throw some crumbs at you. Historical lessons from the Industrial Revolution show that productivity gains do not automatically lead to shared prosperity without deliberate policy action. So one set of rules for the West and another set of rules for India. India should remain colonized nation, essentially. That's what people like Nilekani want for India. AI, according to Nilekani, is being framed as an economic inevitability. It isn't. History suggests technologies do not determine outcomes, societies do. This guy doesn't have the first clue about history. He's an historically illiterate person. So he says Industrial Revolution 1.0 drove extraordinary productivity gains in Britain, but for nearly a century, workers saw little benefit. Wages stagnated, jobs were displaced, and living conditions worsened. Yes, and the British Empire took over the world in the meanwhile. It took decades and major institutional and legislative changes for prosperity to spread. The lesson is simple: productivity gains don't automatically translate into shared prosperity. Without deliberate choices, gains are privatized while costs of transition are socialized. What word salad nonsense is this? A second lesson comes from the work of 2006 economics Nobel winner Edmund Phelps. Economists flourish when its benefits are widely diffused, when ordinary people can participate, experiment, and build. But that's fine, but why can't you produce the world's best AI models and also have ordinary people participate, experiment, build? Why not? In much of the developed world, AI is being deployed within large formal enterprises. The economic logic is clear: improve efficiency, often by reducing labor. When productivity gains come from headcount reduction, public anxiety is a rational response. India's structure is fundamentally different and potentially advantageous. For over a century, economic efficiency has come through consolidation. Firms expand when coordinating many small actors is costly. This is how Western economies evolved towards large corporations within specialized, narrowly defined roles. AI and digital networks are now reversing that logic. When coordination costs collapse, the whole software, blah, 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 blah. India's economy has this shape with millions of MSCs and hybrid livelihoods. A lot of AI slop, it looks like here. In the AI era, it may become a strength. Work in small enterprises is multitasked, adaptive, judgment driven, precisely the kind of work that's harder to automate and easier to augment. Precise. Okay, so on. So this makes India better positioned than many advanced economies to use AI to enhance human productivity rather than replace it. That's fine, but who owns the AI? Nandan Nilekani, who owns it? You want somebody else to own it, right? And then you will lecture India about all this nonsense. This advantage is not automatic. The real risk for India is not mass unemployment. It's missing a once in a generation opportunity to raise productivity and incomes at scale. Productivity and incomes is what you're concerned about, but not AI sovereignty. At the same time, India has a distinct vulnerability. Its formal sector may be relatively small, but it anchors middle class aspirations. For 3 decades, the pathway towards mobility, upward mobility, has been clear: education in STEM, leading to jobs in IT, run by cyber coolie drivers like you and related sectors. AI now directly targets many of these entry level roles. Even limited disruption can have outsized consequences in a country with millions of young people struggling to find meaningful work. A weakening mobility ladder isn't just an economic issue, but a socio-political one. India's AI trajectory will be shaped by two choices: how widely the technology is diffused and whether it expands or constrains economic mobility. If AI remains so he's focusing about the downstream effects of AI, but he doesn't want India to be a leader in AI. Long lecture about God knows what. We know what, we can read it here. India's large employers, they are dying out, by the way. AI is going to kill Infosys and everybody else. Yeah. India's large employers like IT services, financial services, manufacturing are at the AI disruption front lines. If AI is deployed primarily as a cost cutting tool, entry level opportunities will shrink. This is what these people imagine is thought leadership. People like Nilekani, they imagine this sort of drivel is thought leadership. Yeah. Build AI's public infra and so on, enable mass. So he is giving some long gyan about what India should do, but he is saying that India should not, India doesn't need to lead the world in building. Essentially, he's recommending don't worry about leading the world in building most advanced AI models. We must take the models other build and make sure that they are distributed well. But you get what others voluntarily give you, right? And you have to pay for that. Ridiculous. So this is the kind of thought leadership we have in India. Nandan Nilekani, right? Sad to see this sort of drivel being pushed upon India. What else do we have? Okay, this is his article. Look at this. And in the meanwhile, you have the world's leaders in AI doing this. This is the Department of War, the official account of the Office of the Undersecretary of War for Research and Engineering, US government. Today, the Department of War, and this is from May 1, from yesterday, this tweet. Today, the Department of War entered into agreements with 7 of the world's leading frontier AI model and infrastructure companies to deploy frontier capabilities on the department's classified networks. SpaceX, OpenAI, Google, Nvidia, Reflection, Microsoft, AWS, Amazon Web Services. These are 7 of the world's leading frontier AI model and infrastructure companies. They're going to deploy frontier capabilities on the US government's Department of War's classified networks. This is the latest initiative in America's mandate to create an AI first war department. Meanwhile, India should beg the world for crumbs and then you make sure that those crumbs are distributed equitably. That's what people like Nilekani advocate for India, right? Interesting that you have reflection here and not anthropic. Interesting, but that's a different matter. Now, in the meanwhile, we have this. India seeks fair mythos access. So Anthropic has this new model called Mythos. We don't know if it's a real model or not, but apparently it's super advanced, and it's so advanced that they have chosen not to release it to the public. And it's supposedly very advanced in cracking, in hacking and all that. So India seeks fair mythos access. We don't have the know-how or the capabilities, or we have not bothered to invest in an AI ecosystem. So we want crumbs from others. Please give us fair access to mythos. What is fair? What is fair? It's an American AI model. Are they are is India expecting that the US giving India access to it is something that's fair? How is it fair? If I own it, I decide what happens to it. If I choose not to give it to you, how is it unfair? Because the product is mine, right? I don't know what sort of mindset India has. The mindset is that it is virtuous to beg and and the one who has what we need, they have to give it to us if they are supposed to be if they want to be considered fair in our eyes. Who cares what India thinks? Who cares whether India sees this as fair or unfair? I just don't get this colonized mentality, mentally colonized mentality of Indians. So India is in talks with the US government for working out logistics of companies testing Anthropic AI model. Why can't India develop the world's best AI model and then stop worrying about these things? No, we won't do that. But we will go and beg to the Americans. Give us what is fair in our opinion. You develop the best model, now give it to us, otherwise we will say it's not fair. Good God. This is where India is today. Sad to see this. What else do we have?